Okay, a great greetings from the United Kingdom. I think today the King Charles is about 77 years, so today is his birthday. So if you move across the land of the United Kingdom, you will see that everyone is celebrating his birthday. So that is a quick update from the United Kingdom. We send you a warm greetings once again and thank you all for joining us live to today's episode. In fact, today's story is one of the most heartwarming stories that you don't want to miss. So I'm glad you've joined us. And as usual, let's try as much as possible to share the link so that those in that, the Bollywood boy people can also join us and then also benefit from today's podcast. So you're welcome once again. Our guest for today is Madam Elizabeth. Ma'am Lizzie, how are you?
Charlie Adele, what's up? What's up?
Hey, this your vibes, dear. Can I stand you today?
You will, don't worry. We there inside.
All right. Charlie, everything fine. What about your end now?
I'm doing amazingly well. We thank God.
All right. So, can you give a quick intro about yourself so that those seeing you for the first time would know you more?
Okay, first of all, let me say thank you very much for bringing me on this platform. So, my name is Elizabeth. I was born and bred in Ghana. I attended Agri Memorial African Methodist Episcopal Zion Senior High School and then did my bachelor's at the University of Ghana, where I read political science with philosophy. And I moved to the UK to do my master's in public policy. And I'm currently working with the UK government in the education space.
Oh, okay. Hey, I didn't know you are in the UK.
Yeah, I am
So,
in the
are you
UK.
celebrating the King's birthday today?
Yeah, I actually saw some, airplanes over the Buckingham Palace. They're wishing the king a happy birthday. There are so many people around to celebrate him. I'm just in my room scouring Twitter to see the updates. But yeah, today is the king's birthday.
Oh, all right, interesting. So, which part of UK are you now at the moment?
So I'm currently in Bristol, but then I'm also based in London. I've been in the UK since September 2024, and come September this year will be like exactly 2 years that I moved.
Oh, okay, exactly 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So, how do you see the UK education system?
Um, to be very fair, the UK education system is an interesting one, and I think it's one that I want everybody to be able to experience. It's not like the chew and pour, unfortunately for me to say, that we have back home. It's a space that allows you to, think critically. It's a space that allows you to go to the classrooms to challenge assumptions. So you don't take what the professors say to you hook, line, sinker. Do you get it? You can challenge them, and even before you go to class, it forces you like to prepare way ahead, to read the literatures and everything before you go. So you're going to class with that knowledge already into you. So all that you go do is to debate those ideas, to challenge assumptions, and also to, base the things that you already know you read from the literature on facts. So it's a very, very good one.
Wow. So far, so good. What have you loved about the UK system?
I think what I've loved aside their education system is even the policy spaces that they have, that anybody who want to practice even after school could stay and practice. So for instance, there is a graduate route visa for student. international students who want to stay and work in the UK that people can explore. And a lot of students have been able to like explore that to their benefit. And I think the UK system is also very welcoming. It's a very multicultural setting, very diverse. In my class, for instance, see, I had people from around, I think, 63 countries. So I had friends from everywhere in the world that I go. I have friends there. And this was because I had an education that was based in the UK.
How did you see the UK application?
Come again?
When you started applying, how did you see the whole
Huh?
application process?
Um, I think the application process was pretty straightforward. So for me, I applied to the University of Oxford. And before you apply, of course, you have to gather all your documents together, you know, your CV, your references, your policy briefs, your essays, your personal statement. You have to get all those things together, and then you make sure you do your best, to put in the best responses for any questions they're asking you, or any sort of thing that they needed from you. So mostly they even have like a guideline that you have to follow. And I always advise people to follow those prompts. The questions the school is asking on your career, the things you've done, the things you've achieved, just follow that. So I think for me that was straightforward. And I also got help from like other alums or other people who have already, been in that journey before. And after you apply for the school, there is also a separate application for like the scholarship process where I applied for my WHT scholarship amongst other funding that Oxford had. And the trick is that you only get called or shortlisted for those funding after you've gotten into Oxford proper. So you're not going to get like a call from your scholarship until you get admission from Oxford. And after you've gotten the admission from Oxford, now the scholarship shortlist you, calls you for an interview, and then you go for the interview. They ask you questions based on your eligibility, based on the things that you care about, what your career objectives looks like, what you stand for, what your personal values are, the kind of ethical dilemmas that you're facing in your career, and the solutions that you want to proffer if you are being like given the scholarship. And after that period, I think you wait for about 2 to 3 months until they get back to you somewhere around May, June. And then if you get in, the rest is history.
So when you heard Oxford, Uyamansho.
See, Minya, me am shimmy, like me am shimmy, me am shimmy, papa, 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 papa.
Hey,
Initially, I really,
you
really
get you
like,
get her to Oxford University. Hey,
yeah, yeah, me am shimmy. Like I was really, really overthinking everything. I was second guessing every, thing that I was writing in my essays, the experiences. I was thinking I wasn't good enough for a place like Oxford, because even in Ghana, the kind of people, the caliber of people that have gotten the opportunity to go to Oxford, His Excellency John Ajekunko for His Excellency Baumia, and like several other people. So I was just thinking, am I really good enough for this place? And sometimes I'll write something and I'll come back and I'll delete it because I'm like, nah, I don't think this will be suitable for Oxford University.
wow. Ghana should watch out to their next president, Elizabeth
Oh,
Danswa.
really? Thank you, thank you.
So you mentioned a scholarship package that you may be interested in, because along the line we know that in the UK, it's not easy to get scholarship.
At
So
all.
how did you manage? Was it fully funded scholarship?
Yes. So the Weiden for Hoffman Scholarship is a fully funded scholarship. It covers your tuition, it covers your health insurance, it covers your living cost, and they even gave us money for like our flights, our visa fees, health insurance, and like a settlement cost. And I think it's for people or individuals in low income countries or developing countries. So like every African country will be part of it, because obviously we are low income. And then some parts of Latin America, like Chile, Argentina, Brazil, would also be people there would also be eligible for this scholarship or funding. And I think it's also for like some specific courses, but the courses are very like, they're a lot. So the Masters of Public Policy, those doing education, those doing social policy, those doing computer science, those doing a BCL, which is like the 1 year law course. Some 2 years master's programs are not eligible. Initially, Oxford, or I mean my scholarship used to fund that, but now they've stopped. They're only funding the programs that are like 1 year. So if you find yourself applying for a course in the Oxford that is 1 year, then I would advise you consider the Biden for Hoffman scholarship. And I mean, aside the scholarship package, there is also like a leadership component where you get to be trained as a leader. It's a platform for like business or entrepreneurs, those who have like business skills, those who have or want to harness their business skills, those who have business ideas. You can actually win some money to like start any initiative that you want to. But as I said, it's very competitive. It's not easy, because you see, Oxford is very competitive in the first place, and you're competing with people from other low income countries who are equally brilliant as you, who are equally smart, who equally have like a purpose. They know what they're doing in life, they know what they want to get in life. It's very competitive. But then if you are able to put in the work, put in a very good application, you'll be considered for, shortlisting. Then you go for the interview to prove yourself that indeed you deserve the scholarship.
Wow, that's an interesting one. Please, if you just tune in, we are speaking to Elizabeth, who is currently in the United Kingdom. In fact, we always say that in UK it's very difficult to get a scholarship, but this time round, she didn't opt for Commonwealth scholarship, neither UK government scholarship. However, she managed to get a scholarship. Ali, we will come to the scholarship because we are much interested. Some of us we
That
couldn't
is
secure one,
fine.
oh, so
That is
yeah,
fine.
see a show.
We'll talk about it, all
So,
about it.
in fact, today we are going to dive deep into the scholarship process so that at least those of us who couldn't secure one, we can maybe divert to Oxford and then see if we can get similar scholarship package. So please, if you are
Yeah.
just tuning, yes, Elizabeth managed to study in Oxford, a university that most of us will be running away from because we know say yeah, the try cry but I've now managed to study in
Ebefa.
Oxford. Yes. Elizabeth managed to study in Oxford, and then not just to study, she was able to secure a scholarship. So basically, that is what we are discussing so far. So let's try as much as possible to share the link so that others who are also at the far end can hear the good news, and maybe probably um, Elizabeth can be a great help to them. I don't know why I'm calling you Abna. Why are you
I
Abna?
know. No, I'm even a Kia.
Oh my God.
I'm a
Eke
Kia.
Papa.
Miss K.
Okay. So Ekia, let's continue. I think we have to spend the next 2-3 minutes talking about the scholarship. So that kind of scholarship, is it only restricted to students of Oxford University, or there are other schools in the United Kingdom that offer similar scholarship?
So unfortunately, the scholarship is only tenable at the University of Oxford. You can't find it in any UK institution or in any institution even outside of the UK, just the University of Oxford. Hopefully in the near future they're able to expand beyond Oxford and maybe go to other LSE, University of Reading, East Anglia, and so on. But currently, it is just only tenable at the University of Oxford.
That's interesting. So please, those of us who wants to study abroad, who wants to study in the UK, and you are interested in getting full scholarship, perhaps you can also consider um, Oxford University, because Elizabeth did it with all the competitiveness. She still managed to apply, and then, by the grace of God, she was able to secure full scholarship. You said full scholarship, right?
Exactly.
So it covered. So let's know which aspect of your fees that the scholarship covered.
So the scholarship is fully funded. Let me put it that way. Like they're just paying you to come and learn. That's what it actually
Wow.
means. Fully funded. It covers your tuition. It pays your health insurance, which is very expensive in the UK. It gives you money for your living cost. And this living cost includes your accommodation, food, transportation to any part of the UK or even outside the UK that you want to travel to. The scholarship even has other perks. So, for instance, if you're like a research student, you're conducting a research and you need funding for your research, there is money set aside that you can apply. Aside all these other things they are giving you, your tuition, your living costs, your stipend, and all those things, you can apply for that. If there's a conference in the UK, outside the UK, in Geneva, in USA, or wherever that you want to go to, you can apply for a conference grant and use it to go. And even
Wow.
interestingly, if all these other monies that they are giving you, there's a point in your life that you think that you are going through some difficulties or some like huge financial difficulties, you can write an email to the scholarship that these are my challenges. I'm very, very grateful for you, what you're giving me every month, but these are my challenges. And so, could you give me additional money? And if they assess your case and they find any worth in it, my dear, you get additional money. And even aside my
Mm.
scholarship package, the Oxford colleges also have like funding for their own students. So I was a member of the Lincoln College in Oxford. Can you imagine, Ben? I was there one time and I received an email and they said, "Hi, Elizabeth. How are you doing? Is your semester going okay for you? We are just writing to let you know that if you are going through any difficulties, if you need money to buy anything that you can't afford at this point, you can reach out, you can apply for this grant." And I was just so surprised because University of
Hey.
Ghana, nobody sent me that email. Nobody sent me that email. So you see, and that was how I even managed to buy my current tablet because I then needed like a tablet. So there are so many funding opportunities. Like they don't want you to come to the school and stress. Do you get it? They want you to have that free
I'm
mind.
not. Yeah, they are quite stress you.
Kafra, why kafra, kafra, kafra. I think
Hey.
that is why I really would want to like advocate that a lot of people should look at like schools like Oxford, Cambridge. That see, like there is this notion or assumption that it's a very high levels, which it is, honestly, it is very competitive, it is top. But like let's try and apply there. Let's try and apply there. Because I know my life wouldn't have been like this in terms of finances if I had gotten a school and I didn't get like a fully funded scholarship. I know I would have really, really struggled. But Oxford comes with funding, a lot of funding, especially for African students, because aside the WHT that I was on, there was the MasterCard scholarship. There is a Rhodes scholarship, even which is currently open, and I would advise anybody who is interested and has a first class to sort of go and apply. There is the Clarendon scholarship that a university itself considers you for. There is the college funding that your college can, give you. And even there is a department level scholarship that you can be considered for. So if you're an African student, I think the advice should be that just try and get the admission. The moment you get the admission, there are so many other funding options that you can be considered for, and that would mean that you have to put in a lot of like applications, communicating with your departments that, okay, this is what I've been able to manage to get. Can you get this for me? Can you help me in securing this other funding? And if there is any, trust me, they wouldn't hide it from you. They'll bring it to your doorstep.
Oh, okay. So Abna, I want to apply
Yeah.
to University of Equia, sorry. Equia, I want to apply to University of Oxford. What
Mm-hmm.
and what and what and what do I need? Let's say I want to apply for MSc in accounting.
Mm-hmm.
What
Okay, so I
documents do
think
I need to put together?
so. To be very honest, every department has different things that they ask for. But then I think the standard is your personal statement. The standard is your
Okay.
CV. The standard, I think, would be your referencing. And in Oxford, they would ask for three referencing, mostly two from your university, like where you did your bachelor's or where you've done any other master's program in case you want to do a second master's in Oxford. And then one can be professional. So with a professional, if like you are currently working, you can get it from your boss. If you're part of like an NGO, like for instance, you're facilitating this amazing, podcast, which is giving so many students insights on how to apply for study abroad. You can talk to your colleague or your boss, then they can write a recommendation letter for you because you are doing an amazing work, maybe in the field that you want to study. If you are part of a fellowship or an NGO or something, the other one you can go there and request for the recommendation letter. Then, depending on the course that you're applying, as I said, they have like other things they would require from you. So, for instance, the Masters of Public Policy asked me to write a policy brief, like a policy essay, identify a challenge in my community and how I'm going to solve it, like in a policy way. So, in the end, you give like concrete, actionable recommendations. They assess all these things. And also, like an essay that you have to write. There's also the public essay. I think is it public service essay. So that is a part that you list any other thing that you've done in the public space. So like if you worked in a government agency, you list those experiences there. If you worked in an NGO, international organization, you list those experiences there. But what I know from other like departments is that they mostly ask you to submit two essays, two in like independent separate essays. I think of about, is it 2,000 words each? And those essays you can either decide to pick from the thesis that you did as an undergrad, and maybe if you had another thesis, if you did a master's program, you can pick from there. And it's not really supposed to like relate to what you want to study now. They just want to look at your thinking process, how you structure essays, how coherent they are, like look at those academic skills that you have. But what I mostly advise people on is that if you are picking an essay, then at least it should be closer to the subjects that you're going to read. So if you're going to do a course on climate sustainability, your essay shouldn't be on, let's say, education. It should be something related to climate so that they can see that, okay, if we admit this man or this young lady on the program, the person is able to easily adapt. And because they don't want a situation where it's like they are now coming to spoon feed you. I
Oh,
think at the
okay.
beginning I rightly said that the learning there is not that kind of spoon feed. You have to do this, you have to do that. You go to class like already prepared, you read the materials. So you go to class ready to challenge assumptions and all that. Even though they teach you certain skills, how to write policy briefs, how to write memos, how to write essays, I think they want also people who already have a bit of, experience in such things so that you don't have to take the class back.
Wow. That's a good one from Oxford University. So it's still possible to get full scholarship in the UK.
My dear, my dear. So I think the trick is aside, let's say Oxford and Cambridge, I know offer fully funded scholarships and London School of Economics. But aside these three schools, the other schools in the UK just like mostly give only partial. they give like only partial, and people describe them as like the money making institutions. But yes, there are partial scholarships in Oxford. I won't lie. There are some instances where some students have gotten partial scholarships. But then, as I said, there are also other funding, like small, small, little funding that you can apply for to make your life like very comfortable. You don't have to like depend on home for money or even go and work for money. Because the way our courses are being structured, I don't think I would have been able to work while schooling, because it was very rigorous. It was intensive, like back to back, back to back, back to back. So if you don't have funding, you cannot go and do any wala to wala anywhere. Like, trust me.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. So please, Abna is teaching us today. Those of us who still have interest to study in the UK, I think one of the top universities that we can consider if we want full scholarship is one, London School of Economics. Two, um, Cambridge. Is it Cambridge or Cambridge? Hey.
University of Cambridge.
Okay, oh, University of Cambridge. And then the last one is Oxford University, where Abna had her master's. So
Ikea,
for
I'm not Abna.
where Aquia had her master's. So if you are interested in full scholarship, at least consider these three universities first in your application. Aquia, do you think that these universities you have to get first class or strong CGPA before you can apply to?
Thank you very much. See, these universities are very competitive. It is not only Kenyan students applying for it, it's not only Nigerian students or students from Africa or the Commonwealth applying for it. As I said, I had classmates from about 63 different countries. So you're competing globally. You see, you're competing with the best minds everywhere in this world. People from Europe, North America, Antarctica, Australia, Africa, Latin America. So, and being very honest with you, they do not necessarily like require a first class. There are some courses in Oxford, like the BCL, that will straight away tell you that all you need is a first class. So without the first class, don't apply or go and redo bachelor's and get a first class, sort of, if you really, really want to do that. But there are so many programs in Oxford that I think the lowest would be second. Is this how do you call it? Second up, is it upper, second upper, or even second lower? Like it should be in the second class
Yeah,
level.
second upper, second lower.
Good, good to be able to get it. But you see, when they're looking at your application, they look at it holistically. So they are looking at your CV, they are looking at your personal statement to see what drives you. They are looking at what your referees are saying about you. They are looking at your essay, the coherence of it. Maybe you didn't get a first class, but then after you completed degree, you've gotten some great and amazing experiences that are sharpen your thinking ability, that are sharpen your ability in academic writing. So like you are top, even though you didn't get the first class. Do you get it? So they look at your application holistically, not just your grade. They look at your grade and many other things for you to like sort of get into the application. And I have a feeling that they have like a grading system where maybe they put transcript as 10, they put your CV as 10, they put your essay as 10. So for instance, if you have a first class, maybe you get the full 10 over 10. You get it. But if your CV is also good, you get like 10 over 10. If your essays are good, 10 over 10. Then there could also be another scenario where you didn't get the first class. So maybe you got a strong upper. So you have like an 8. But your references are so strong that you cannot even get a 9 there. You will get a 10. So when they are measuring, maybe the person with a first class, you get it, has like some lower parts in the CV or the academics or other parts that would, help the person with the second class actually come up over the person with the first class. So I don't know how they do it, but like they look at the application holistically. But what I would also say is that getting a first class puts you in a you in a very good position. Trust me. If you're supposed to choose, like it's a tie and they're supposed to choose between two people, to be very honest, I think what they will consider is your academics because Oxford is intellectually mind blowing. You get it? So there were people in my class who didn't get like first class, but the kind of experiences that my dear they were bringing on board. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Mhm.
Yeah. So someone in my class will be president in their country very soon. Some people will be at the UN. Some people will be heading ministries. Like they're coming with crazy experiences. Like they were the masters of the game of whatever field that they were in. So you see, they considered every aspect of the application holistically, not just the academics, and they also try to balance the class in such a way that we have people with strong academics, we have people with great experiences who would contribute and give examples in class based on the experiences that they have. People like so you see they try to have like a balance so that it's not like only nerdy people in the class who even refuse to speak or talk about their experiences, but then they have other people who can. So it's a whole thing. So just believe in yourself, whatever that you've got now, believe in yourself, learn to package that well, apply, seek feedback from people so that you can shape some of the things or how you see certain things. Because this is a like writing or doing application is a skill. I'm not gonna lie to you. It is a skill that I learned the hard way. Because initially I used to do things haphazardly, like put things anywhere. Because I've done so many things, I was just putting things anywhere. Then somebody thought to me that no, do it this way. Put some of your experiences in your CV, put some in your personal statement, ask your referees to talk about some so that like it makes you look good. So the moment you're able to package yourself well to the individuals going to read your application, I think you'll be fine. Trust me, you'll be on the good side of history.
Wow. That's a very nice one from Elizabeth this evening in the United Kingdom. Well, we've spent half an hour, 32 minutes, more than half an hour. And Elizabeth is telling us her experience with regards to studying in Oxford. I have to be frank. If I'm to apply to the UK, maybe one of the least schools I would thought of is Oxford, just because I know that it will take me a longer time to be admitted. But I
No,
think,
don't say that.
yes, I think Elizabeth has really ginger me. So maybe if next year you see me in Oxford, then it's because of Elizabeth.
I'll be very, very glad.
So please, if you just join us, remember, yes. So please, if you just tune in, remember here is the Freddy Fed Study Abroad podcast, and of course the biggest study abroad podcast in the world. Um, if you want to go and study in the US at the moment, and right now maybe you are finding it difficult to pay your visa fee, to pay your service fee, to pay your application fee. We know that in Ghana and some other parts of Africa, to even secure a visa card is very difficult. So all that you have to do is to reach out to the Fred Effect team on any of our social media handle, and we'll be willing to support you to make those payments. Remember, there are a lot of Fred effects in the system, but the authentic Fred effect is still there. So YouTube, we are around 182,000 followers. Facebook, 173,000. TikTok, we are more than 200,000. Instagram, we are more than 35,000. And then I think X2 we are over 100,000. So please make sure that you are following the right Fred effect, and we'll be willing to support you to make any payment that with regards to Visa card, we are willing to support you to make those payments. And then remember that we we are also we work closely with AgroVisa. AgroVisa are visa of officers who who are also willing to make your study abroad dream come into reality. So all that you have to do is that you can be in touch with them and then schedule one-on-one interview session with them. They will guide you through. Please, this one we even recommend for those who have attempted visa 1 2 and they couldn't get their visa approved. Make sure that you get in touch with AgroVisa, and AgroVisa will help you shape your story so that the next time you go for your visa interview, you'll be able to get your visa approved. So, having said this, Akuya, I think we can then look at the visa process. After securing the visa scholarship and after securing the full scholarship, how did that impact the visa process?
To be fair, I think that really made the visa process very easy because the reason for which they deny a lot of students like visa to the UK is mostly about their finances, about how to prove that the money or the bank statement that you presented is actually in your name. And you see that 28 days rule and that 32 days, then it's really like a total mess that you mostly like need people to guide you on. But I didn't have to find myself in that position because I had fully funded scholarship, and all I needed was the scholarship letter that my school gave me to upload in the funding section, and that was pretty straightforward for me. So when I got the scholarship and I was doing my visa, I went into the portal, I mean the UKVI portal. I filled out the application. There are several sections in the application, a part where you speak about your personal, like you provide your personal information, including your parents' information, a part where you feel why you're going to the United Kingdom, so the rationale behind your trip. So that is where you have to state that you're going to do your master's in what, and the school usually gives you a CAS number, and you have to use that to fill the application, the CAS information that the school gives you. I think in the United Kingdom it's NI, but in the UK it is the CAS. So make sure you get that number from your school before you even start filling your student application. And there is also the section where you talk about your finances, who is going to fund you, how is the money accessible to you, how much are you going to get from this source, depending on your own personal circumstance. And for me, because it was a fully funded scholarship, I just had to mention my school, the scholarship, the amount I'll be receiving every, I mean, the year, and that was just fine. And then you go on to pay, and there's a section where you book for your biometrics and you upload your documents. So my documents included like my passport, it's included I think my CAS number, it's included my funding, it's included the admission that I got from the University of Oxford as well. And then once you upload everything, you get ready to go for your biometrics. On your biometrics day, I think that is also like a pretty straightforward process if you've already like uploaded everything on the portal. There is also like an assisted, if you want like the embassy people to be the ones to upload your document, then you have to pay for that one. But I think you can upload it. There's no need for you to go and pay extra money. Just upload it. And mind you, one thing about the UK system is that you don't only pay for your visa, you pay for the health insurance, which is very expensive. So, depending on the number of years that you're going to be in the UK, if your course is for 2 years, you pay 2 years health insurance. If it's for 1 year, you pay just 1 year health insurance. And the UK system is in such a way that I think if you're doing a course which is like 12 months, they add 4 extra months to your visa. But if your course is like just 6 months, you they add only I think 3 months or like 2 months to it. So depending on the time your course is gonna finish, you also get like additional months to be in the UK. Then you can apply for other visas when you are done. Then after you've done your biometrics and everything, it takes about 15 days, 15 working days for them to get back to you. But for me, I think I submitted my application somewhere the Wednesday. I went for my biometrics on Friday. Then the next Tuesday they sent me an email that my travel document was ready. See the way I was scared, I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm like, wait, like how? Like, have they bounced me? Have they bounced me? And
You
then I
know,
went,
one interesting thing about their email is that they don't indicate whether you have been
oh my
approved or
God.
not.
No, they don't. They make you think, like they make you
Yes.
think. Hey, they were experiment with my mother. That God, if they bounce me, they should go and turn it around. Like it was so funny. So I just went to their embassy quickly. I was at work that time, and I couldn't wait. Like I couldn't even wait for a second for the next day to come for me to go for it because I wanted to know my fate. And then when I went for it, I saw like they've stamped my passport. I was very very happy.
Mm.
That means that I was ready to travel to the UK. But Ghanaians, Ghanaians don't tell people they are traveling, no, until they get a visa. So that was when I started announcing that, oh, I'm going to the UK, I'm going to the UK, I'm going to the UK. But Charlie,
But you
our
know,
superstitious
but
belief
you
is
know, in the UK too, it's like there's nothing like secret. Have you observed that?
no, there's nothing like people being secretive. Because like currently where I'm working, one of my boss's daughter got admission to the University of Oxford. Even before the person applied, they came to like announce it that, oh, my daughter wants to apply to Oxford. They were just talking about it. And I'm like, hey, if this was Ghana, the person will not say anything. No. They'll wait and get the admission and even funding first before. But see, our mentality is way, way different. Yes, sir, if you are before.
Enye izo. So that's why we've said that if you want to study abroad, let the Fred effect be your number one choice because here there is nothing like secret, and we don't tell you it would be. We tell you what it is. So that's why
It
Equia
is.
Obapa Equia is telling us what it is. So this one is not like she's fabricating any story, whether you like it or not. She completed Oxford, where your president, ex-president Akufo, right? Or Baumia.
Yeah. And Baumia too
Yeah,
attended Oxford. Atoforsen
yes. So,
attended Oxford.
but,
So many
oh,
others.
then very soon you are going to be our educational minister. Oh.
My dear, please.
Yes, so this is the Fred effect for you. Abla, in fact, I'm inspired by your story. So very soon, maybe
Thank
I'll
you.
also become an alumni of Oxford very soon. Maybe five
I'll
years
be
to
very, very happy. Rooting for you.
Wow, such an interesting. So now I think the next question will be how were you able to transition into the UK government role? I think it's a little bit rare, right? Was
Yeah,
it
honestly.
was it because you completed Oxford?
My dear, maybe partly because. So it's not all because I completed. It will be very unfair for you to make such a statement on such an
Yeah,
assertion.
so we want to
Because
know
when
what
you
really caused that.
okay. Upa senpa, oh. Okay, so when I found the role online, I decided to apply. And to be very honest, with the UK civil service system, when you're applying, they don't even want to see any identifying information of you in the first like application. So you submit your CV and you remove like any background information that can eventually lead to you. So you don't add your
Yeah,
name, no address, no school even. So there was no opportunity for me to even say that I went to Oxford. I just said I did Masters of Public Policy in the UK. And then you list your CV. And even in your CV, I had been like fortunate enough to work in several like spaces and in several other countries. I didn't even add those countries to it. So I removed everything Ghana, I removed everything Nigeria, everything Uruguay, Brazil, like all those United, I removed all those things. So like they want to see your experiences. You see the experiences that you are bringing to the role. And I think for me that is very very fair. Because the person assessing initially does not know who you are. Maybe based by the name Elizabeth. When they say Elizabeth Dancer, I'll say like in the preliminary information, which should even be made available to them after they have assessed you and they've picked like your application to the next round. That is when maybe they will notice that you're a Ghanaian or something. You get it. But in the initial assessment, it's just based on your experiences and what you're bringing to be like to the table, as people say. And then after they go through your application, they call you for you to write the civil service test, which is very, very, very difficult, I'm not gonna lie. But then I had to prepare. I had to take my time to like read about their civil service, what it entails, and even some of the statistics questions that they were asking me and all that. I had to take my time to prepare. So after you go through that horrendous process and you pass, then they call you for the interview. So it is the interview that they are going to know who you are as a person. So that is where you state the school that you attended, how the skills you learned from that program that you did actually relate to, you know, the work that you're coming to do. And for me, I had good experiences because I'd worked at PricewaterhouseCoopers. I did some projects in the education space. When I was in Oxford, I interned with Right for Education, and I did my policy placement with UNESCO. So I had like a lot of good experiences that sort of related to the role that I was applying for. So I think that that was what helped me. It wasn't only just the University of Oxford. Of course, Oxford, anybody who attended Oxford or anybody who is reviewing anybody's application from Oxford would definitely have to take a second look at the person, because they will know that the person is not like ordinary. They will know the person has gone through a lot of scrutiny, a lot of processes, even be able to get to the University of Oxford. So that sort of gives you an advantage or a leverage. But then aside that, your experiences, the things you know, your knowledge, should also speak for you. Other than that, I don't think Oxford alone can get you to get a job in the civil service. So it was also a rigorous process. I remember when I was going for my interview, there were so many like white people over there, and oh my god, I was like the only black person. Even in my office, I'm the only black person, and I was asking myself if I was really gonna get a job, because like why would they choose me over any other person, any other British person? Because like it's a UK government job. Do you understand? So, but then like I'm very grateful that I was able to go through the process and I was selected in the end.
Wow. But anyway, congratulations for
Thank you.
for being accepted into the UK civil service. So we
Thank
want to know,
you.
we still have a lot of people who are in the UK, they are done with their masters, but truth be told, they don't really know their left from right. So what advice do you have for such people?
I think the advice I would have would be that they should start small. Like I know the application, like job application and job hunt and such is very, very tedious. Like the UK market is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The market is crazy. Like you can apply for as many jobs and you still get bounced. You still not find anything. But I would say they shouldn't give up, you know? They shouldn't give up. They should still continue to apply for roles that they read in school, no matter what they are currently doing now. They should use tools like LinkedIn. LinkedIn really helped me a lot. All the jobs that I applied for, I found them on LinkedIn. I'm not gonna lie. I found them on LinkedIn. So they should utilize LinkedIn. The more they use LinkedIn as a tool to search for jobs, automatically LinkedIn will begin to like recommend certain openings to you. They should sign up. There's like a place that you can subscribe. They can subscribe to the page, then if there is any job opportunities, they can apply for it. And I would also advise people to also look in the UK civil service, especially if they are Ghanaians, because we are part of the Commonwealth. Ghana is part of the Commonwealth. And as part of the Commonwealth, you can actually work in the UK civil service. And that is what a lot of Ghanaians don't actually know. So I'll advise people to take advantage of that. There are so many positions. You see the way in Ghana we have Ministry of Health, Ministry of Works and Housing, Ministry of Communications, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Education and all that. That is the same structure that the UK has. And any Ghanaian can apply for any role in those like ministries and organizations and offices. So people should take advantage of that. And day in, day out, there are so many openings. Some are like short term, some are long term, some are permanent and all that. They should like explore those options, because even if you get a role which is related to the course that you went to study for like let's say 3 months, see, you are ending that 3 months job that you've done with some great experience that you can add to your CV, and that can lead you to your next big job. But you see, it looks like other people too are also like looking for like permanent roles. They're thinking about the future, which is very, very okay, because without you thinking about the future, without like a stable mind, you'll not even be able to do a good job. But then they should look at like roles that are like 6 months, that are like a year, that are like 2 years. Then based on that, they begin to build from there. Do you understand? Because what the UK employer also wants to see is that you have experience in the UK. They don't care about the Ghana thing that you did though. They don't really, really care. I mean, they value the experiences and all that. But mostly they also want to see that since you're already in the system, you've done something in the system that relates to the course that you went to study or to the role that you're applying for. So even if it's an unpaid internship that you'll be doing online, just to get the experience, just to garner the skills and the knowledge, and also like to gather the credibility in the UK system, I'd advise people to go for it, honestly.
Okay. Wow. You advise people to go for it. But the problem is, let's say I'm in the UK studying, I'm not on full
Mm-hmm.
scholarship. I have fees to pay. At the same time, I have
Yeah.
my assignments to do. At the same time, I'm also trying to um, get my 20-hour weekly job to do to at least be able to pay for my utilities.
Yeah.
So having considered all these obstacles, how then can we be able to like um be able to study the system, um, understand it, be able to acquire these skills that you are talking about, so that when we complete and then we want to transition into the system, it will be relatively easier and then simple for us.
That's a very genuine and legit question, honestly. Because, see, working in the UK and using that money to fend for yourself and even pay for your school fees, and it's not easy. And I really respect all my friends who like do that. It's really, really not easy. And I really, really like, as I said, respect people who do that. But I think it also would help if like there's a lot of planning, like you sit down yourself and know like when to, for instance, stop working. I don't know if you can even stop working because you're still doing the money, right? But even if you are just supposed to work for like 20 hours a week, maybe decide that you're going to do 15 hours a week for paid work. So a work that can give you money to sustain yourself. Then just the 5 hours that you have, the remaining 5 hours that you have, if it's like an internship somewhere in an organization or even in your school, you see, even in your school department, that you can get like some research experience that you can get and add that to your CV that you'll be doing every 5 hours, even if they are not paying you. For you, it's that experience, the experience that you want to like be able to show off to your employers that, oh, you have these skills, you work there, you work that, you did this research, you're part of it. I think it will really help. I understand you have to pay for fees, you have to feed yourself and all that. But if you have that sort of plan in place, that okay, I'll work 15 hours for maybe money for my school fees and all that. But then that 5 hours, I'll use it to do. And let me even be honest with you, you can get some paid work that you can do part time, which will still contribute to like the course that you are reading in the UK, or give you some skills that is needed in the job market, gives you that credibility. For instance, if you are working with your university, it gives you a very good credibility, and you can add that to your CV when you're applying for a job. It is not easy, honestly, it is not. But then I think if people, or if students should be able to like devise a plan, they should be able to transition smoothly into the job market. Because as I said, the UK employer wants to see that you have some sort of understanding, like a contextual understanding of the UK. You have some sort of work experience in the UK. Like you know the market in which you want to play in. I understand skills are transferable. So if you have a skill in Ghana, you can actually transfer it in the UK in a different system. But also like finding time to read and know about like the UK economy, the UK educational settings. If you want to work in the education space, how it works. If you want to work in the climate space, like the contextual knowledge of these things also helps. So that when you go for like an interview and you're citing examples, I read this article, this is how it says, they know that you are knowledgeable and they are not the ones going to spoon feed you because you already know what you are worth.
Wow. Hey, do you know my greatest shock in this country?
Tell me, the weather?
No, I remember. I think was it last year? Yes, last
Mm-hmm,
year I I sent an email to one of the city council that, oh, I'm this person, I'm in school and I want to do some volunteering at the
mm-hmm.
department. Then they said, okay, oh, go ahead, we are ready to accept you. I said, okay. Then I put in an application. It took me more than an hour to complete the application. Then I think in 3 days later, I got a reply that we are sorry, we can't.
See,
I, I was
see,
shocked. I want to
see, let me tell
volunteer.
you, see, let me tell you something. It's the same like internship volunteering thing. My friend sent an application to like a company in the UK. I don't want to mention the name. So let's say he sent the application around 5 p.m. My dear, by 5:30, they've sent him, we are sorry. And it's yours was 3 days. Yours was 3 days. It took him I mean, 30 minutes for them to bounce the ball. It was very sad. But you see, it's part of the process. If I tell you that I wasn't like bounced for a lot of jobs, I'll be lying. I got some rejections. I've cried about some rejections and all that. I've also gotten like so many offers and all that. But you see, it's part of the process. Rejection is part of the process. And a lot of people spirit them to dampen if they get those rejection emails and they completely like give up. That is where you have to show resilience. That is where you have to show them like, hey, even if you bounce me 100 times, I will not give up. What if the 101 times that you apply was actually what was going for you and you didn't like put in the application? See, as I said, the UK market is competitive. Very, very, very extremely competitive. No matter where you are coming from, no matter the background, the school that you've attended or what, if they want to bounce you, they'll bounce you. It's competitive. But as a Ghanaian who has come to somebody's country and you know what you want to get out of this, don't give up. Don't give up. See, a day you can apply for 50 jobs. I have friends who do that. Apply, just apply. Put in the application and leave it to them for them to decide. And I think that if you are very, very consistent about finding like something that relates to what you want, something that you want to do that you feel comfortable that yes, I'm doing this job, I love it, I'm proud of it. Don't give up. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Invest your time and your energy. Like wake up at dawn whilst everybody is sleeping. Wake up, do applications, use a lot of like job should I say tools like LinkedIn. There is also one called Indeed. There are so many, portals and places that you can actually go in there and apply for jobs. So look for those things and see, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Oh. If I had given up
Don't give
after
up.
applying for the Rhodes Scholarship, see, I wouldn't have gotten into Oxford. So don't give up.
Wow, the conversation is becoming interesting, but time too is not on our side. Are you aware we spent 1 hour?
I just noticed.
In fact, I'm just loving the conversation. We don't have to give up, and I think that is the key. So, why did you decide to choose UK over USA?
Um, hmm. So I think for me, it was very clear that I wanted to be in the UK, because of their policy and public institution, and also because Ghana was part of the Commonwealth. I felt there was that sort of nexus between the two countries, and a lot of Ghanaians were also like in the UK. So that was it for me. And I also wanted a space that, sort of combined that rigorous academic with real like world policy engagement. And I felt that the UK could offer that for me because, as I said, they were the ones who sort of colonized us, and we have a lot of similar institutions, and our countries like work together. They partner on so many fronts than like the US government. And because I was going to do a course that was like policy oriented, I needed that space where I know I can easily relate what I did to Ghana to like the UK or the foreign system. Because even whilst I was at PricewaterhouseCoopers, I got opportunity to be working on so many UK funded projects, like with the UK Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. So that sort of gave me, um, should I say, also like encouraged me to apply to the UK. And I must say, I also wanted a place that was like diverse, where I could meet different people from different countries. And see, the UK is very multicultural, it's very, very diverse. So many people from different parts. If you go to London, you meet so many different people. And I said early that in my class, there are about 63 people from different countries in my class. So that's sort of also like encouraged me to apply to the UK. Another fact was that if you check, the UK mostly gives 1 year master. They mostly do the 1 year master's program, and the US is like mostly 2 years. And I think Canada too is 2 years. I knew for a fact that I didn't want to do masters for 2 years. That was going to be a lot for me. So because of that 1 year thing that the UK had, I decided to go in for the UK. And maybe to another option was that there is a clear like path for you in the UK after school. So you can do the graduate visa, you can get sponsorship to stay. And just recently, I even discovered the further leave to remain in the UK visa application that you could apply for. That also meant that after school, they are not forcing me to go home right away, but rather I could stay and maybe work for like 2, 5, 7 years and then eventually go back home to apply all the skills that I've learned. So that was it for me.
I think your motivation alone is like 5 pages. So, wow. Yeah, please let something motivate you. It's not just about hearing the name that I want to go to USA, I want to go to UK, I want to go to Canada, I want to go to Australia. There should always be a motivation behind it. And I always say that, you see, when you get that motivation right, no matter what, you'll be able to
Yeah,
move.
yeah,
But if it's like maybe everyone is traveling, so let me also traveling. That is where
exactly.
when something small hits you, then you want to give up. But if you are determined, you set your purpose clear, if you set your reasons clear, no matter the impediments, no matter the obstacles, you never be moved. And I think that is what is pushing um Elizabeth, because in fact, to apply, even to apply to Oxford University alone, you have to be as brave as the lion, because the name alone can scare you. Maybe probably they don't know Oxford. Can you tell them a little history about Oxford University?
The little I can say is Oxford is the best university in the world. Period. Period.
They don't know. Tell them, tell them, tell them, tell them.
Oxford is the best university in the world, as I said. You have people from different parts. It has produced so many intellectuals. It has produced so many people who have gone on to win the Nobel Prize award. In the UK, I think it has produced about 28 British prime ministers. In Ghana, it has produced so many great leaders. If you go to Nigeria, Africa, it has produced so many, like so many great leaders. And it's the place to be if you want to like harness your skills in academia, in leadership, in public service. It gives you a very good platform. It gives you the opportunity to meet like great people. Cause see, I met former British Prime Minister, what's his name, Rishi Sunak, face to face. We had a conversation. I've been able to dine with like some great people in the UK that ordinarily I wouldn't have been able to like dine with. And that was because I got the opportunity and the chance to go to Oxford University. So apply,
Good.
apply.
Apply. So would you still
Don't let
encourage
anything impede you.
would you
Like
still encourage people to apply to the United Kingdom?
100%. And if you're applying to the United Kingdom, please add Oxford to your application. That is what I'll say. You can decide to apply for as many schools as you want, but please add Oxford to it.
Wow, interesting. And don't be intimidated by your CGPA because
No,
IKEA
not
has
at all.
made it clear that they don't really look at only your CGPA.
Exactly.
So if you're even within the lowest, just give a try and like
You may never
the
know.
yeah, you never know what can happen. So that is that. So Akia, if somebody wants to reach out to you, is there a way they can reach out to you?
And they can reach out to me on Instagram and maybe LinkedIn because I'm very active on those two.
Oh, okay. So what's the name?
Just a moment, let me check. I think on on LinkedIn.
Are you a social media person?
Yeah, I'm very active on social media. I am. So
Okay.
on LinkedIn is if you type my full name, Elizabeth Danswa Osei, you see me. I'm
Okay.
in some pink nice dress with some nice hair. You see me, I'm the one. And
Okay.
of course you see Oxford University as part of my profile. So the moment you see that, you know that it's me. Then on LinkedIn, I am Nana Danswa with a five. So
Okay.
Nana Danswa, let me write it on the chat.
You're
Nana
right.
Danswa with a five. Or if you also text my full name, I mean type my full name, Elizabeth Danswa, so you should be able to see me on Instagram. And same applies to all the other social media handles, to be honest. Type my full name, you see me.
Oh, okay. All right. So I've shared. Is it Nana Danswa?
Five, that is my IG handle.
Okay. So those of us who wants to reach to Akia via IG, the handle is Nana Danswa as shown on the screen. So you can save it and then send her hi. And then if you have any question related to, so what kind of um, consultations can we reach out to you?
Thank you for the opportunity. So very soon, I'll be launching an educational initiative. It's still like in the thinking processes. It's still going through the preparation processes. We're trying to get a lot of people on board, get a lot of partnerships and all that. But the kind of services that we're going to offer will be to mentor students. So, for instance, on scholarship applications, personal statements, the interview processes, we would support students who want to like sort of structure their study abroad plans, how they can refine their academic CVs, their essays, and also sort of understand what makes like a strong and a competitive application. Beyond that, I also give like personalized feedback on essays. So if you're applying for any school, you have your personal statement ready, like you have it ready, and you want me to look over it or go through for you, please do send me or reach out early, like reach out very, very early. You don't wait if like a deadline is 2 days, then you say, Dan, so can you please help me? No, like because I wouldn't have that luxury of time. But then if you're able to reach out early, trust me, I should be able to like help you with your personal statement. And as I said, anybody who wants to reach out to me can reach out on IG or LinkedIn or any of the social media handles. And yeah, my initiative will be coming soon, so look out for that.
Oh, okay. In fact, we are looking forward to that, and I'm sure I'm going to be your number one brand ambassador.
Thank you. Thank
And I
you.
think at the moment, so what I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to bring those I know together in the UK here. So we form a platform known as the networking family under the Freddy Fett.
Good.
So it's not really out, but we want to see the people's reaction before we make it more public. So
Yeah, I
maybe
get that.
probably since you are still in the UK, I can add you, and then maybe we try and then figure out, because the idea is, as you're saying, we don't just want them, we don't just want you to travel and then you complete and you don't know what to do. So the idea is we want you to be able to find your feet. So what you do is
Yeah,
we'll be sharing some links and then other connections that we know, so that
yeah,
you'll be able to find your feet. And we are doing same for those also going to the USA. So right now, if you've gotten your visa approved, make sure that you reach out to the Freddy Fett in any of our Facebook handle, social media handle. Let us know the university you are going to, and then we'll try and see if we can connect you to someone who is already there, so that at least settling in doesn't really become stressful. Uh, in fact, one of the things that if you don't take care to demoralize you is to settle in when you travel for the first time, because it's kind of stressful, especially
yeah,
if you don't know anyone in the country. So we are working hard both in the UK and then in the US to make sure that each and everyone settle it nicely. So if your visa has been approved, try as much as possible to link out to us, so that we even connect you before you come. Don't come before you look for connection. We will connect you even in Ghana before, or in any country you're coming from, before you reach your destination. So, Akua, do you have some time so that we pick some reactions from the comment section?
yeah. We can do that. Maybe one
We
or
can
two,
do that.
because I want to watch the 8 o'clock match.
Oh, okay, all right. So let's see if we can. Please, you can drop your questions. This one first come first serve, so that we will try and see if Nanekia can react to it. All right, so this is our first one from Emmanuel Ajay. He says that I have CGP of 3.97 out of 4.0. I want
And
to
so
go
will be
to
a valedictorian. No.
Yes, I want to go to Oxford and do my marketing in PhD. Do you advise I go
Please,
ahead?
like you have all that it takes. I don't even know what you are waiting for. You have 3.9. Like, dear, what are you waiting for? Go ahead. I'll be rooting for you. If you need any support, if you want me to link you up with other PhD students in the UK, I mean in Oxford, for them to go through your application, I will. So like reach out to me on IG or LinkedIn or anywhere, and let's facilitate that. My dear, you are good to go.
No, interesting. This one is from Owusu Owona Ajay. It says, God bless you for the information. So Nanekia,
God
take
bless
your
you too
two.
for listening.
This one is from Nana Amponsa. It says, a very great session today. God bless you, the Freddy Fed. All
God
right.
bless.
Let's see if we have other reactions. I think a lot. This one is from Genisi. He says, great session with Dansua. Dansua.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let me see if I can pick few ones. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I think we've had a very great session today, and I've really enjoyed and been inspired by your your the conversation with you today. I think this one, let's see if we can address. It says, please, once again, the name of the scholarship she applied for after getting into Oxford University. Thanks.
Weidenfeld
Okay,
Hoffman
can you help her out?
scholarship. Weidenfeld
Let me
Hoffman.
type it.
I'm typing it.
Okay,
Weidenfeld Hoffman scholarship. Yeah,
okay.
in Oxford.
Uh, it sounds like German name.
Yeah, because it's W, but they pronounce it as V, not
Oh,
Weidenfeld. So
okay.
Weidenfeld Hoffman.
All right. So please, I'm showing on the screen the scholarship.
Yeah,
Okay. So
thank
I
you for
think
sharing.
application has opened, right?
We are in July. No, applications are not yet opened. So somewhere
Oh,
August, September, that is when they mostly open applications.
oh, okay.
They are currently
All right.
preparing for the next student who would start in September.
Are we showing the right interface?
Yeah, that is the program.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So please, and those of you who wants to know the full scholarship, not just the scholarship, the 100% scholarship plus stipends that um Nanekia applied to at Oxford University. That's what the TFE team is showing on the screen. So you can have a look and then take your time, browse through and see if maybe probably you can also give a try. We have eligibility criteria showing on the screen as well. We've also posted the link on the chat box. So we don't just want you to follow, please make sure that you engage with all the things we are sharing. And you know, the thing is that maybe you might not be interested, but if you share, it can benefit someone. So let's try not to be selfish. Let's try as much as possible to be selfless. As Nanepia has been selfless to tell us this hidden secret. Honestly, I've been in the UK for almost 2 years, but I don't know you can get full scholarship in um, Oxford. A scholarship that when you complete, you will stay. You know, all that I know is the ones that when you complete, you're
You
moving
go
back to
home.
your. Yes. So, Kia, before we wrap up, who has supported you in this journey, and you wanna use this platform to acknowledge
Oh,
their
thank
effort?
you. First of all, I want to say a very big thank you to my mentor. He's my greatest mentor, Dr. Pascal Brenya. He's been very, very supportive of me. I remember after the Rhodes Scholarship, like the final, being part of the finalists, I went for the interview. It didn't go well. It didn't go as expected. I decided not to do any school abroad again, like I mean, study abroad again. And he called me to his office and he said, "Hey, you're going to apply to Oxford. Oxford or nothing." And I still remember his words. And it was him that sort of motivated me, gingered me up to again apply directly to the University of Oxford. And look at me now, I'm a graduate of the University of Oxford. So I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Pascal Brenya and also to Prosper Amumakwando. He's currently at Harvard University. He's like a professor at Harvard University. I want to also say a very big thank you to him, to Norbert, who supported me, to Pinaman, who was very, very supportive of my Oxford journey, to my friends, to Linda, all those who helped me with my interview process, to Zuleya, who was with me at work, motivating and inspiring me, and to my family. Like, oh my God, they were with me through and through. From the waiting period when I wanted, like, to finally know if I got into Oxford, And then the decision came, I got into Oxford. I was so happy, everybody was so happy. And then you have to wait again for whether you're going to get funding or not. And my family was with me through and through. I want to say a very massive thank you to my mother for always praying for me, for always supporting me emotionally and being there for me. I don't think without the support of all these people, I'd have been able to get here. And if I've forgotten anybody, please forgive me. Like, thank you so much, everybody who has been supportive of my journey and has helped me to reach and get to where I am. Thank you. I love you.
All right. So, right before you go, I think if you can re-echo this for us, the scholarship. I think some people join late, so let's make it clear.
The Biden for Hoffman Scholarship.
Yes.
So, you
Do
apply
you
to the
have
scholarship.
so
So
which
when you're
is which?
applying for the scholarship, when you're applying for, I
Mhm.
mean, the course, Oxford course, there is a part, like as part of the portals, there is a part for scholarship and funding. So you see, you have a place where you go and fill personal information, your experiences, your references, and all those things. There is actually one for scholarships and funding. So if you go under scholarships and funding, then you take that you want to be considered for the Biden for Hoffman scholarship. Then there is also like a separate application there that you also have to like fill. And then you like sort of submit that scholarship application and your entire Oxford application together. Do you understand?
Oh,
But then you
yeah.
only get listed for the scholarship when you get admission to the course or to Oxford. That is when the scholarship would even look at your application.
All right. So can you
So
get admission and then not get the scholarship? Is that is that
It
a
is
point that
likely. It is also likely that you can get admission, but maybe the scholarship will say that what they are looking for is not into you. But then don't lose hope because there are other scholarships too that you can be considered for. So we have the MasterCard scholarship. And as I said, we have Clarendon, which is like the university-wide scholarship. There is
Mhm.
even the Rhodes scholarship that the application is open now that you can actually apply for, and we have the departmental level scholarships that the department also give to students. We also have the college funding that based on the college that you choose or based on the college that you get, you can be eligible and considered for funding. So don't give hope. Like don't lose hope when you are not being considered for one. Just be in constant touch with your department, like send them like professional emails, let them know that you really really want to come to Oxford and some steps that you are taking to get funding. And when they see the seriousness, I'm sure they would help you like figure it
We
out.
are mindful that you want to go and watch the game, but quick one. So
Yeah,
this is the list of programs when you apply that you can select the kind of scholarship.
exactly.
They are all master's degree programs and they are on the website. Did you pay any application fee to apply?
So I paid application fee for Oxford. If you're applying for
Mhm.
Oxford, you pay an application. I think my time was £85. I don't know if it
Okay.
has changed. But then there is also a fee waiver that most people can apply for if you're eligible, like depending on your circumstances. I think you
Mm.
have to prove certain things. And also if you're like a British citizen, it's straightforward. But as a Ghanaian and with all my circumstances and things, I was still not eligible for that fee waiver, unfortunately. So I had to, pay for it, £85 then. So you have to pay an application fee. And the advice I give to most people is that school application is very, very expensive. So always try to balance it. So you pay or you apply for schools that you pay for application fees, and you also apply for schools that you don't pay for application fees. There's so many schools in the UK where you can decide to apply for that you not pay for application fees. But as I'm saying, add Oxford to the list of schools that you want to apply for in the UK.
Why do
oh,
you
okay.
think people take it out? Is it because of the prestige, or they are scared they are not going to get in? And
I
did
think
you also apply to other universities apart from this one?
so. To be very fair and honest with you, when I was starting my study abroad, like when I completed school in 2022, I was thinking of that pathway. So when I started, I applied for like East Anglia, Reading, and the other schools, and I just got partial funding. But then in 2023, when I was firm that I wanted to like now go to school because I've gotten like good experiences from working at PricewaterhouseCoopers, I tried first of all by applying to the Rhodes Scholarship because I knew I wanted to go to Oxford. Like that's the Oxford MPP program was what I wanted. But when I went for the interview, I passed the first stage, the second stage, and the final interview. I didn't get it. I wanted to give up entirely on the school application. Do you get it? I wanted to give up entirely. As I said, it was my mentor who called me to his office and advised me to apply. Even if I'm not going to do any application, I should do Oxford. So it was Oxford or nothing. And see, I just applied to Oxford. And as I said, I was just encouraged to apply for that one. And it worked for me. So, like me, my story is like some miraculous story, to be very, very honest. So I just applied to Oxford that year. And some way, somehow, God helped me to get into the school and also like to get funding. But the advice I'll give people is don't feel intimidated. You see, you can actually attain it. There are so many Ghanaians in Oxford, you see, and yes, the prestigious, the Oxford is very competitive and all that. But then see yourself as someone who is capable of competing with people globally and even like on a national level. Do you understand? Just give it a you will not die. Just give it a try. Give it a
Yeah.
try and see what God will do.
So finally, is there an age limit?
No, I don't think there's an age limit because in my class, I think I was 25 when I got in. I had people who were like 27, 40, 30, and even 50 years. There's no age limit. I don't think there's any age limit.
There are lots of ladies out there looking up to you, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to hear your amazing story. I'm sure a lot of people are inspired today, looking at you and explaining how to get into such a prestigious university. It's an epitome of encouragement. Just you being able to do it makes it possible for
Exactly.
for anybody else seeing you to be able to also do. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate your time for today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Okay, thank you, Fred, for the quick chip in. So, Nanekia, hmm,
Me, I
I
want to
really
run
should
away and
stay
leave
longer.
you. I want to run away
So
and
your
leave
final words, your final words,
you.
cry, then you leave us.
Okay, my final word would be that see, it is possible. It is way, way, way possible. When you are starting the application, start early. Give yourself a lot of time so that you can get feedback from people, so that like others can be able to go over your application and try to make your story coherent and consistent. Like what you are doing now, what you want to do in the future should be able to like connect. We should see that coherence in it. You cannot say something different in what you're doing now and what you want to do in the future. There should be some sort of coherence and consistency in your work. And most importantly, don't self-reject. Don't self-reject. So many people count themselves out even before the race begins, even before the committee looks at the application. Apply with confidence, apply with honesty, and trust that your story is good enough to get you into any school of your choice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Avoid self-rejection, and that is that from Abna. In fact, we want to say thank you so much for staying with us till now. It has been a wonderful session with Nanekia, who is currently in the United Kingdom. And the good news is that she didn't just come to study; she is now working in the UK civil service. In fact, she has really worked hard to get to that. The reason why we tried as much as possible to host her is that we don't just want you to think of studying abroad. We just want you to try as much as possible to be able to become who you are through studying abroad. So the process shouldn't end your ability to move to the country you want to study. However, how you're able to navigate through the system to be able to fit well into the society or the community within which you find yourself. So thank you so much for tuning in with us. And remember, as I said earlier, Fred Effect is doing a lot to support those who wants to study abroad. So if right now you are struggling with your payment, especially service fee, visa application, any form of payment that you are struggling with, just try and then reach out to us, and then we see how much we would assist you to do your payment. And also remember that um, we are in partnership with AgroVisa. This is a group of visa officers who try to help you to let you understand the reason why your first visa was denied. They help you to understand why it is possible for your visa to be approved. They give you all the necessary tips you may need. So try as much as possible to link up with them, and then they'll be able to help you for you to be able to get your visa approved. We just want to once again give you a warm greetings for joining us live. God willing, next week we shall come on your way with another fantastic episode. Our code is very simple. If Kofi has been able to study abroad, if Ya has been able to study abroad, if Efo has been able to study abroad, then it means that it is also possible for you to study abroad. All that you have to do is believe in yourself, make the attempt to apply, and stay positive, and everything is going to work out for you. So God willing, next week we shall meet same time. Bye bye.